We are recording. I will update, when it's time to update. But I don't feel like... So the thing about Apple I don't like, Alana Jaylo,
Yes.
is they'll have...
I like how you said that.
If that is indeed your name.
It is.
The complication with Apple
Yes.
is it seems like they want you to update all the time, and a lot of their updates make the operating system worse.
Oh, really?
For example,
Uh-huh.
there was this big controversy that they had like a year and a half ago. People had speculated for a long time that the updates ruin your battery.
Right.
But there was a bunch of reports that came out like a year and a half ago that kind of confirmed it for sure.
Yes.
And so that's one of the reasons I don't want to update my iPad to the newest version.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is it's gotten to this thing now to where it just keeps asking me, do you want to update now? Do you want to update now? So
It's kind of like the same thing with JAWS. Like, I don't want to update it unless it's... I don't want to update the version unless it actually works with Windows or,
with the latest version of
or the latest version of Windows, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or vice versa. I don't want to
Update
Windows
Windows.
unless it goes with JAWS or whatever screen.
I've heard people say that they've had problems when they've updated Windows.
Yeah, that's why it took a while for me to. Did I even have Windows? No, I don't remember. I think my backup PC I have now has Windows 8.
Okay.
But it's still working okay. The person who had it before me had Windows 8.
How old is the laptop?
I don't remember how old it was. It's definitely older than my... I think it might be slightly older than my original laptop. I still have that.
How old is your original laptop?
I had it for 7 years, but it's still good.
Nice. Well, I have a Mac that I bought in 2009 that still works.
Mm.
It's not the greatest, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, and I told you that I still have my old Victor Reader Stream, and I seriously thought it was broken.
Like a week ago, it seemed like, or less than that.
Yeah. I don't know. It did some weird glitchy thing, but I've had it for 9 years. And it's still good.
Does that make you want to rush getting a new one, knowing that it might be close to the end, even though it's still kind of working?
No, I'm kind of the person, like, I want to run something in the ground until I can't do it anymore, until I can't use it. Because
and then worry about updating it?
Right, exactly.
Because, sorry, I interrupted you.
Because what?
Oh, no, you said because, and then I interrupted you.
Because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my thing.
Mm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it or replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been having an interesting day.
Yes.
So we're watching somebody's house.
Right.
And there are dogs.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
And cats.
Yes.
A lot of animals.
Right.
You came over today as this person was leaving.
Yes.
And we kind of hung out today, which we've done many times before.
Well, several times.
Several times before.
Mm-hmm.
But this is fun because it's around the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
We watched some Frasier.
Yes, we did.
You took a nap.
I did. I was tired.
And one of the cats came up to you and meowed right in your face as you were sleeping.
I thought it was cute. I think she was trying to say hi, or maybe she was like, What are you doing here? I don't know what she was thinking, but she was nice about it. She just... I proceeded to pet her later on, and she kind of shook her ears.
She's a good cat.
She's a good cat, but she's old.
She's 21, I think.
19.
19? Is that how old she is?
I believe that's what this person said, yes.
Okay. Well, in any event, she's really old. She is a very friendly cat, though.
She's a very nice cat. She doesn't... you don't really see her a lot, but she's around. Yeah.
Which is good.
She's like the grandma of the... of the animals, I guess.
I would concur with that.
Yeah.
Then we continued our binge watching of Frasier.
Yes. That was really fun, yes.
That's such a good show.
It is really fun, and I am actually on season 6, so I'm a little bit behind you, because you're in season 8. But then you get introduced to Lana, who is Frasier's ex. What a nightmare.
Put your brother on the phone.
Get your brother on the phone. My friends are throwing me a surprise birthday party, and you tried to ruin it?
That was the episode we watched today.
Yes, and Claire being the cellist and more like Frasier, was such a nice lady. I think there was this... I remember there was a time in one of the seasons of Frasier, it might have been season 8, where he was trying to decide if he wanted to be with Lana or Claire. because he was having some conflicting feelings with both of them.
I don't know why he would want to be with Lana.
I know.
I understand it at the beginning because when he first met her, his point of reference was she used to be the prom queen. And now she's this real estate agent. But now that he's had a glimpse into her personality, I just don't see why he would want to go back to that.
No, exactly, because he's about ready to pull the car over and like, your friends are throwing you a surprise birthday party. Do you want to go or not? Yeah.
Yeah, that part of me made no sense at the end of the episode to where he sees her alone and he's talking to Claire, but he decides to go up to Lana.
Maybe it's because part of him feels really sorry for her.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I feel some way. So I could kind of relate that to friendships I have, and I won't mention their names, but
Go ahead.
In some ways, the reason why I feel like I still am friends with them, even though sometimes it drives me crazy, is because a part of me feels sorry for them, like they seem so lonely. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
They seem and maybe I understand that might sound bad to somebody, but I really feel like that.
Yeah. Sorry, the dog just hit his head.
Yes.
Underneath the table.
Okay.
He does that a lot, I noticed.
Yeah.
He's still a great dog, though.
He's a cute one.
Yeah.
But no, do you ever feel that sometimes?
Yeah, I do. There are a few people who I know right now who I think they don't have a life.
No, they don't.
I mean, they do, but it's like it's not the type of life I have. In a bad way, it's not, right?
Right. It's just like, they can't find, they haven't found love, or they don't want to, or they just don't have time to themselves, or they won't find time to improve themselves, or whatever it is.
Well, a lot of people just don't know how to improve themselves.
That's true.
Like they're not sure how to approach a woman or a man.
Mm-hmm.
They never developed the skills to, have a proper diet or search for something that's creatively fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
So they just go through this spiral and they just go down and down and down emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for them to get out of that. I know I was like that in my 20s.
Yeah, but you've since grown out of that
Mm-hmm.
stage, and you would hope that some of your friends would, and and I'm gonna mention a friend of mine that I just recently ran into. I won't mention this person's name because this person is not here.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I saw her that one day, it seemed like she has not gotten over any of her problems. Like, she just is looking for an escape. And she just doesn't know how to deal with the problems that she has. And all she can do is run away. And that may have, maybe that's aged her. I don't know. But she seems very, very bitter. Very angry, it seems like.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you had not spoken to this particular person in a few years before you saw her.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like a good 7 years because we lost each other's numbers. And, it was, I didn't know where she was. I had an idea about where she was, but I didn't know how to get her number. And had I known that she was having this much problems, which I did before, but I didn't know the extent of it, I think I would have reached out. But I'm kind of on the fence of doing that.
Because
I feel like she believes that she doesn't have anyone to count on in our, and she doesn't have anyone to count on here in our country, in the U.S. But I just feel like if I do reach out to this person, she may not put any effort, and I don't know if I should even put any effort, because I want to put effort into relationships that is a give and take relationship.
I completely hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
The other side to that, somebody might come along and say, well, maybe she just hasn't had the opportunity. Maybe people have just abandoned her for no good reason. I don't know if that's true. I doubt that that's true, to be honest. But
because I've noticed a pattern with her before in the past, before she became who she is now, that if she would call somebody her best friend, but if they double crossed her, they were no longer her best friend for whatever reason. Like she never worked it out with them.
Yeah.
She never came to terms with what they did, and she never fixed it with them. It just seems like that way. Like once she was double crossed, that was it, and it never got fixed. So I don't know. I just think that her escaping isn't going to help anything, and I just feel like that's what she's doing. But maybe I'm completely wrong about it.
You got to be. The dogs are distracting.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be mindful of who you let into your life, because their energy has a big impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you still can't love somebody from afar. And hope that they get the help that they need, and hope that they live the type of life that they deserve.
I do, and I care about them. And there's some friends that I've had in my past that I still consider friends, but right now they're distant because I don't want to get caught up in their drama, if any. Like they may be creating drama for themselves or other people, and I don't really want to be in their situation.
What do you do to find people who are a positive influence on you?
I just think of the people in my life right now that I know are trying to make their lives better. I have a good friend that lives in the Midwest, and she has just gotten married. She has just gotten married since last year, and she has problems too, but she likes to. I know what she feels because she doesn't hide it from me. I mean, we've been friends for a good 15 years. And she's really positive. And I also have friends back home. And what I mean by home, I mean Hawaii.
Right.
That are still around, even if I haven't talked to them in a while. And I've recently have been in contact with at least two of them. And they've never, maybe their way of thinking may have changed, but they're still there. They haven't abandoned me or anything like that.
How did it feel to reestablish contact with these friends from Hawaii?
I feel like we kind of picked up where we left off. They may have gone through some things, but they appreciated it. The friendship reconnecting, reestablishing. And I've always gotten that feeling from them, that they really enjoyed talking, even if it was just for an hour or a few minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love having good, deep conversations with friends, and
It's the best, yeah.
it is. It's great. I'm having a conversation with two of my friends tomorrow who I talked to the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep those connections alive, especially with the people who really matter to you.
Yeah, and I feel like lately, which I'm very glad that I've been doing the reaching out, and I feel like it's really important. If you really want someone in your life, reach out to them, or if you reach out to them, then they can reach out to you also.
You're being a little bit proactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I think it is important.
Have you practiced any good self-love exercises within the past week?
That is a really good question. I think one of the things that oh, goodness. Okay. Shall we pause this?
No.
Okay.
They're just being dogs.
Okay. Doggies. They get scared pretty easily.
They do.
And they're also very watchful.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so lately I've been having a hard time sleeping. And I think also because it gets dark really, is there water here? No?
Yes, there is.
There is?
Right here.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I'm going to bring the coaster closer.
All right.
I've been having a little bit of a hard time sleeping for the last couple of days. And, excuse me. And what I've been doing is kind of letting myself, I don't know. I don't know if this would count as a self-love thing, but kind of letting myself wake up when I feel that my body's ready to wake up. I don't know. Like trying to take care of myself with getting the rest that I need. And then what else? I've also been thinking about something I should be doing that I haven't done in a long time is journaling again.
I'm a big advocate of journaling.
Yeah.
It's been a huge help for me.
Yeah, because I've been kind of slacking off on reading, not my book, but reading in the morning. Not the book that I'm currently reading at the time, the audiobooks or anything. But
Well, we should say that you are a fan of Jesus Christ.
right.
You've seen some of the live performances.
I wouldn't call myself a fan.
Okay.
A follower is more like
A follower.
Yeah, a fan sounds like a groupie or something.
Yeah. You're not trying to make love to Jesus. You have love for Jesus.
That's sacrilegious.
That's Cartman from South Park.
That's blasphemy there.
Did you see that South Park episode?
No, I don't watch South Park.
I keep forgetting that. There's this great episode where Cartman wants to get into Christian music just to prove that he can sell a lot of records. And so he's on the verge of getting this record deal, and he's like talking to these executives, and they say to him, it doesn't sound like you love Jesus from your lyrics. It sounds like you're in love with Jesus. And then they read some of his lyrics and it's like, oh, Jesus, hold me all night long.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus, hold me as, long as you can or whatever it is.
Oh, that's weird.
But that is not the case with you.
No, it's not like a, it's not supposed to be like some torrid, love affair. Or made to be like this, like what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not supposed to be about some torrid love affair. That's what I'm trying to say.
He was a Messiah. She was a flute player. Jesus and the Jaylo coming this fall.
Oh, wow. No, it wasn't like that. No.
Only on Lifetime.
Lifetime?
Yeah.
More like Showtime.
Showtime.
Anyway, no, it wasn't like the South Park's version of. Yes.
But I distracted us. If I remember correctly, don't let me put words in your mouth. There was a period in your life where you would read the Bible each morning and then write about the passage that you just read.
Right, and I haven't done it in a while. Like, I think I haven't done it in a good 11 years. I think because of books that I was reading that had nothing to do with the Bible, and because I was reading textbooks a lot, and I was, and because I started reading other audiobooks. I've kind of, unfortunately, I've sort of gotten my focus shifted. But I want to get back into it, especially after the holidays.
So then the question is, how do you incorporate the Bible into your life without getting rid of the other books that you're interested in?
What I try to do is find a time for me to read it that's separate from the excuse me. Separate from the time that I would read the other book. And just remembering that this is the book that I use, that I write about in my journals. And that's something that I should be focusing on more than the other book.
Is the Bible.
Right.
Nice.
That's the one book that I use as something to reflect on. I don't reflect on the other books as much.
Not even a Confederacy of Dunces.
No, it has nothing deep to reflect on, no.
Well, you could learn about somebody's mother.
Mother. No.
How long do you usually write after reading a passage out of the good book?
It doesn't take very long. I have a technique of remembering what I read. Some people use an acronym like SOAP, which is Scripture, Observation, Application, and Prayer. And it's easy to remember, and all I have to do is read a scripture that I pick out or a passage and write on that and reflect on how that would apply to my life. Huh, Riza?
Riza's a dog, not me. That's not her pet name for me.
No, it's not.
No.
Good boy.
Thank you.
Riza,
Oh,
you're a good boy most of the time.
I'm always a good boy.
Good boy.
I'm always a good boy.
Good boy. Riza doesn't understand anything that I'm saying. He's probably thinking it's like.
Well, he's a Satan worshiper, so that's why.
He's a dog. He doesn't understand that.
Oh.
He's probably thinking my what I'm saying is like in the Peanuts gang. Huh.
That's right.
So funny. Cracks me up.
That's great. Peanuts game.
Yes.
Yes. Alana,
Yes.
what do you call a group of guys with a urine fetish?
Peanuts.
Thank you. We came up with that joke a little while ago.
Actually, he was the one who was the mastermind behind it.
We were leaving PSU, right?
Yes.
And we were just riffing about, well, what would make a good dad joke? And then we came up with that idea, and I think it's really funny. Oh, thank you for the water, babe.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jesus would be proud of you for that one.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know that would be true.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
You gotta have a sense of humor in this life, babe.
Well, he has a sense of humor, but I don't think it's that kind of humor.
Oh.
Like.
You don't think Jesus likes dad jokes?
Well, depends on the dad joke, though.
Oh.
I don't know that he would like that one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He wouldn't be the, yeah, he wouldn't. I don't know that he would like that one, but I will say, I think it's kind of funny.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But anyway, did I answer your question?
You kind of did. So, how often do you look back on your reflections after you write them?
Honestly, I need to do that again because I wrote my reflections around the time. The last time I remember writing my reflections, that was around the time that I was sick I was sick.
Yeah.
And I had to. I wasn't in the hospital, but I was in Hawaii recovering and getting other treatments.
This was when you had cancer.
Right. And I had some time to myself because my mom was gone. She had work, and I had some time to read and to write and to reflect. But I need to do that again. I've noticed how much I've grown since those reflections, though.
In what ways?
Just my understanding of what they have said, what I was reflecting on before. I think of, and I feel like the Bible is one of those books where if you read it, each time you read it, you're always going to glean something new from it. It's never going to be boring. You're not going to get the same result after reading it all the time. You're always going to find something new and different that you never thought of before. And that's what I like about it. I think I've grown since then.
I've read portions from the Old Testament. I really haven't delved into the New Testament.
Ah.
I don't like sequels that much. I think that might be something
It's not
to
a
do with
sequel.
it. Okay.
It's supposed to lead the way to the New Testament. It's not a sequel.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Don't think of it as...
It's more of a reboot then.
Don't think of it as a reboot.
Okay.
No, it's not a reboot.
Reimagining.
No.
Oh.
It's not that either. They're not movies.
Okay, it's like a spin-off.
No, it's not a spin-off.
It's like
no.
there's Star Trek, and then the New Testament is like Star Trek: The Next Generation.
No, it's not a spin-off.
Except without Mr. Data or Captain Picard.
No.
Okay.
Not Captain Picard. No.
Engage.
Engage.
He would say that on the show. He'd be like, engage.
No. Why would he say engage?
That was the signal to the crew that they needed to go really fast.
Oh.
And then they would go really fast. Like past the speed of light. By
to another planet?
To other planets and, seek out new life and,
how would they do that?
Well, they had the warp engines.
Okay.
And that's how they go past the speed of light.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder who came up with this really cool technology for Star Trek.
Yeah, I've read stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see this movie called Forbidden Planet?
No.
With Leslie Nielsen?
No.
This was made in the 50s. He used sort of like... They used similar stuff in Forbidden Planet that Star Trek used, but they came out like a decade before. So I know that Forbidden Planet was an influence on the original series. I don't. I wish I remembered what else they used, but they had some great technological ideas for Star Trek. I love the technology in it.
Well, back to what I was saying,
Yes.
because we kind of got off point here.
And I do blame you for that, but go ahead.
No, why?
It's easier than blaming myself.
Really?
Go ahead.
Really?
I'm listening.
I feel like I'm outnumbered here, though.
Oh.
In some ways.
Well, I love you.
Okay. Anyway, but I've noticed how much I've grown in the last 11, almost 12 years. And I'd like to put that knowledge to good use. And right now I have started the 13th book of the Old Testament, which is Lamentations. Lamentations and Ezekiel. Both of them are very, very good books. I believe I finished Jeremiah, if not, or maybe I'm almost done with it. I can't remember. But all I was gonna say is that I need to get back into journaling again.
It's very helpful. I love journaling.
Yeah.
And you've heard me talk about not just that, but also morning pages and how beneficial that's been in my life.
Right.
Have you thought of getting an accountability buddy? So maybe somebody to where, if not every day, then once a week, y'all would check in and y'all would read your observations of what you read that week.
As far as the book?
Yeah. Well, as far as like the Bible. So you have somebody who also is reading the Bible. And then once or twice a week you check in and you say, okay, we read these passages and these are my observations about these passages. So then you're not just writing down, but you're articulating it to somebody else and getting their version of what they read too.
That's a good question. I mean, my friend in the Midwest, I would love to do that with her, but she's so far away. And it would be fun to meet with her once a week and discuss it. Because we've done that before. Where we discussed a passage like at a coffee shop or something.
Interesting.
I don't know anyone right now that would be willing to do that with me, because I only have like a few friends in Portland right now. I don't have like I don't have as many friends as I do in Seattle, or at least the ones that I keep in contact with. So I don't know. That is a good idea, though.
Thank you.
I just have to find somebody that would be willing to do that with me and who is actually reading it, because I don't want to rope someone into reading it and they don't read it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to read it. So, I mean, that's something to think about, and maybe I should think about that.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of the good book,
Yes.
you have been doing some reading recently.
Yes, I have.
And you are done with a book about
I'm
missing
not.
persons?
Well, I'm done with a book called The Hiding Place, which is really, really good.
Tell us.
I've heard about this book when I was a teenager, and it's written by Corey Ten Boom along with John and Elizabeth Sherrill. And I believe John and Elizabeth Sherrill have translated the book into English. But Corey Ten Boom was a Dutch Christian woman who came from a Christian family in Holland. And during the time of the Holocaust, they were rescuing German and Dutch Jews that were running away from the Nazis. And they had a secret room in their house they called the Baye. And unfortunately, the Ten Booms were caught and shipped off to a penitentiary and then to concentration camps. And it's a really good book. It's really, really good. I love how it was translated. I even loved how the narrator read it, and she was able to say some German and Dutch words. I thought it was really interesting. It was really good.
I read it right after you did. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it a lot as well. There were some really cool things. Like, one of the things was there's a part of the book where she gets called to see a police officer, like the police chief of her small town. And he's like, okay, we know what you're up to with this.
Yeah.
a lot of us are in favor of what you're doing. And you would think that that would have calmed her down, but she said after that happened, she got a lot more tense because she figured, well, if he knew, then who else knows about this?
Yeah, and then she decided, they all decided that they were going to be speaking in code because she was a watchmaker along with her sister and her father. And she would say something like, my watch is missing a spring. Is it okay if I drop it off? So that would let somebody know, without actually saying anything, this is where they are. This is what's going on. So she would speak in a code as a watchmaker would do.
And then they had all these drills.
Yes, and they were able to make it to the secret room in about 2 minutes.
No, they got down to 70 seconds. So
Yeah,
they
70
had
seconds, yeah.
the drills because there was a secret room in their house.
Yeah.
And you had to get there before the Nazis found you.
Mm-hmm.
Their ideal time was under a minute, but they only got down to 70 seconds, which was still
pretty
really good. Yeah.
And then she packed a bag already for if she had to leave, and she forgot it. She forgot it in the secret room.
She didn't forget it.
She didn't?
No, what happened was she left it, but that's not why she left it. It was down there. So they also had these nighttime raid drills.
Yes, they did.
And eventually they had a real nighttime raid.
Yeah.
And she saw that her bag was down.
Yeah, and
but
she went.
if she removed the bag, they would have known where the hiding room was, right?
Right.
So that's why she left it there, because of the position in the room that
yes.
it was at.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. I remember now. Yeah, and how how it was built, and I remember when somebody was building that secret room, she's like, "This is my room."
Yeah, you're taking away my space, buddy.
You're taking away my space, but she was glad that it was there, because now there was a space for people to go and put their clothing and things, and the Jews that were there, most of the Jews that they rescued were saved, but except for
one lady,
Mary.
right? Mary, yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what happened to her. She may have been arrested.
She did.
She may have been dead.
She did.
But obviously she probably is dead.
She did.
She did.
She did.
Yes.
Another interesting thing, and we should not make fun of death.
No.
She was in her 50s.
Yes.
When she learned how to step up in this way.
Right.
What does that tell you about life, if anything?
It doesn't matter how old you are. If you feel passionate about something and you want to make a difference, you can make a difference at any age. That's what I think.
Well said.
And I thought she was much younger than that. I thought she did this when she was younger, because this book was written for junior and senior high readers and adults. But I thought maybe there was a reason why it was written for junior and senior high readers. But that wasn't true.
I think the reason was she just wanted them to read it and get inspired.
But it really touched me as an adult.
I like the book a lot too.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, what courage they had, what compassion they had for their Jewish workers and their Jewish friends, and how they met with the underground that had hiding places for the Jews. I mean, it was a really inspiring book.
There's some cool stories. There was that story about that one guy who was like this really cool Jewish guy who smoked with a pipe. And she introduced him to his dad.
Yeah.
No, they changed his name.
Yeah, they did to Smith or something.
Yeah. And she introduces him to the dad, and they start telling biblical jokes to each other.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, he's like, oh, you just made a biblical joke.
And then she goes to jail, finally.
Yeah.
She's in the cell. There's this really interesting code about when the guards were gone, how the prisoners were able to pass messages to each other.
Yep, they would yell out the names.
And then the person who would hear the names would yell it back, and then they'd yell. It would go from like left to right, and then the response would go from right to left.
Yep. And do you remember that scene with the ants?
Refresh my memory.
She was in the cell, and she didn't have any...
Oh, she didn't have any friends.
She didn't have any friends.
Then the ant came out.
Yeah, she was very fascinated with the ant, and I don't like ants, but she was fascinated with the ants, and so she would leave crumbs, and the ant would come out once in a while and get the food, and then would go back into the hole, into the ground.
Yeah.
And so, and she would get her cookies from her sister, and she would have all these crackers, and she would put the crumbs on the floor to see if the ant would get to them. But she was so in dire need of a friendship because she didn't have that.
talk about the Nazi officer whose home she went to after she was arrested.
Oh, what was that? Yeah, that's right. That was the one that arrested them, right?
No. It wasn't the one that arrested them. He wanted to know more information about the underground. So after she was in prison for a while, he arranged for her to be taken to his home. And they started talking. She mentions the Bible. She thinks he overstepped her grounds.
Right.
So he goes back to prison. The next day, he comes to her cell, he calls her out, and then he starts having this conversation with her about all the people he lost during the war and his family. And they have like 3 more conversations like this.
I think so. I only read it once, so
Right.
it was very interesting. And then there was another one where she meets with the German officer that arrested her and her family. The one that one of the German officers she saw in her house when they were raided.
Yeah.
And then he said, I know about, he basically told her, I heard about your God, and I think he thanked her, and then it took her a while to shake his hand, and then the minute she shook his hand, she felt like a peace go through her, like she felt at peace with this man.
Nice.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, that's really powerful.
When she was talking to about the guard took her to the reading of the will of her father.
Right.
And her relatives were there.
Her relatives were there, yeah.
And that's basically the reason he took her there, was so that she could see her family again.
Yeah, and it's almost like he had compassion for her because she didn't know where her father was, she didn't know where her sister was, she didn't know how anybody was doing, she didn't know where her brother-in-law was. And unfortunately her father had died in those 10 days. It was really sad.
It was.
And I think about her relationship with her father, how gentle he was, how he would answer questions, but he would answer in a way that didn't require an answer.
Yeah.
Like an actual answer. And how her mother was before she had that stroke. Or I'm sorry, a brain aneurysm. Yeah.
But her mother died before the war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. She died before the war, yeah.
And in her relationship with her sister when they were in the concentration camps.
Right. And I think that her sister probably had that added. There was probably other things that have happened to her that had strengthened her, because she was like, "Oh, we must thank God for the fleas, right?
Right.
Even as little as the fleas." And she would always look on the bright side of things because, she knew how to handle difficult circumstances. And Corey was like, oh, I cannot believe you're handling it this way. But I have a feeling that something in her built up to that, to where they, to how she would handle it.
She wasn't just born that way. She grew into that persona.
I think she had, I think she developed that attitude, like, everything is going to be fine, don't despair, you can find the good in these circumstances, you can praise God in these circumstances, and even though they're really bad. So I thought that was really inspiring to see that. Even when she was dying, she was the same way.
She never lost her beliefs, it didn't seem.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
We had mentioned the one of the Jews did not survive, but or we at least led to believe that she did not make it past the war.
Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
However, before the raid happened, there was an interesting incident that happened with Mary.
Yeah, she kept wheezing. Well, they weren't sure what they were going to do, because she, if she wheezed hard enough, people would hear her. They didn't know what to do. Is that what you're talking about?
That is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. They didn't know what to do with her, but but she was already old.
Well, but there was some talk about, hey, maybe we should just tell her to go someplace else.
Yes. Yes, there was.
And then there was a secret vote.
To keep her.
There were 9 people voting.
Yeah.
And they all voted to keep her.
Yes, they did. Yeah. But nobody knows where she is. She may have died.
Oh, she did.
She's dead now. But
She did.
she did. No, but it was a very touching and very inspiring book. I thought.
I was very good.
Yeah, it was
Very good.
very good.
And then there was the other thing I thought was interesting was before Germany invaded, there was this Nazi who was working for the family,
Otto, yes.
Otto,
Mm-hmm.
and they fire him.
Yeah.
Then after the invasion, he comes back and he's this. I think he's a lieutenant in the Nazi
Yes,
army.
and he visits them. Yes.
That was really strange.
That was really strange. I never figured out why he did that because after they fired him for good reason because he was really really mean to the Jewish worker.
So I suspect that it's one
Yeah.
of two things.
Mm-hmm.
Either he wanted to show that he was superior to them, or he was condescending secretly to check on them because they were making a lot of noise. People knew about them.
Right.
And so maybe they just said, okay, if you go up there like you're doing a raid, that might be a little bit too much. But if you go in there like, hey, I'm just going to check on my old employers, you might be able to catch them in the act of something.
I was afraid that he was going to kill them.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, because if he was being that mean to the Jewish worker, how much more would he be mean to all the other Jews and the Ten Booms?
Yeah, obviously I didn't think that he was going to kill Corey because she wrote the book years later. But I thought that he may, off somebody else, and that might have been when they were actually caught.
Yeah, I was really nervous. I thought maybe he was going to kill all of them.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't.
But he did.
He probably is.
He did.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
But now you're reading another book.
Yes, I am.
Jaylo.
Yes. So I know that you have some differing opinions on this book, but so far I think it's pretty good. It is called Through Gates of Splendor, and it's by Elizabeth Elliot, and it is a document of and stories about her husband's death, along with 4 other missionaries that were on a mission with her husband to Ecuador, and it's very interesting. I'm at the chapter now which talks about the Alcas, who are the meanest of the Indians. They're ruthless. I was just reading a chapter about the head shrinking Hebrews, which are another Indian group, and how ruthless they are to each other, and they were raised to hate people when they were younger, hate them, like they were raised to hate someone that has done them wrong, and unfortunately they were a very hateful bunch. So they so far they were ministering to the Quichuas, and now they were ministering to the Hebrews, and now they're going to talk about the Alcas, which were the meanest of the groups.
Unfortunately, I cannot say too much about this because I finished the book and Alana is still in the middle of it.
That's right.
I have some feelings about it because of the whole conversion thing. I am not a Christian, but Alana is, so.
And I have other feelings about that too.
That's right.
Right.
You're allowed to have those.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
What do we have for dinner? You have feelings, but you also have had dinner.
We had some pizza. I had 4 slices. He had 2 slices. It was very good.
It's good.
Yes. Do you know what pizza place it was from?
I do not know.
Okay, it was really good.
And then Alana made something.
Yes, this is my first attempt at making fudge, and I honestly can say that it turned out really good, and I was really worried because it was softer than I wanted it to be. And I found out pretty quickly, thanks to Rick, that it's because of the pan I was using. It was too wide, and it wasn't deep enough.
I prefer, it not being that wide and it being deeper, obviously. And I think that makes a better fudge.
Right.
Because you can really, pick it out more, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm getting a free pan.
Yes, I decided to give you a free pan because I think it would be good for you to use if you're going to make cinnamon rolls or cornbread or something else. And I figured, well, I'll just give you an extra pan. I can get another one.
Now, I have offered to leave the room for a little while you have a heart to heart with this pan, because you just got it a couple of days ago.
I just got it yesterday.
Right. And explain, hey, this is why things aren't working out between you and me. You deserve a good home. I'm still going to see you, but you're no longer going to be part of my family. And I love you, and I wish you the best. But you have declined that offer.
Yes, I have. Actually, did I get it yesterday? What was yesterday? Yesterday was the
19th. December 19th. 2019.
Okay, I got it on Monday. I'm sorry. It was a few days ago.
Okay.
Right.
December 16th.
Right.
2019.
December 16th, 2019.
Is when you got it.
Yes. Well, no, I'm okay with parting it with it. I just used it once, and it got the fudge to a really good consistency, but I would have liked for it to be a little bit harder. And I was really worried that we wouldn't be able to get any fudge because, yeah.
But you don't feel the need to say goodbye or to
No, I don't.
shed tears over it.
No, it's just
Let
a
it
pan.
know that you still care.
It's not like it's a dog.
Okay.
It's a pan.
Okay.
It's a pan, and I could get other pans, and I know which kind of pan to get. I could just get a skinnier and deeper pan. So if I wanted to make fudge again, which I think I will because it turned out so good, and maybe we might have some after this.
That might be good.
If you're hungry. And I'm thankful that it came out really good. I might actually experiment with putting some nuts in there, maybe some extra candy.
These nuts.
Ah, jeez.
Sorry.
Maybe candy. Maybe I could substitute the chocolate chips for candy, or I could put like peanut butter, because peanut butter is always good with chocolate. Mm.
Oh, God.
I'm leaving some room for experimentation.
I turned you on to a new type of chip today. I've been up playing this chip ever since you started.
We're probably gonna have more tonight, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
The potato ridges by Trader Joe's are incredible.
Ridge cut, yes.
They are, their generic version of Ruffles. Mm-hmm. And I love Ruffles, but I think these are way better, in my opinion.
They are really good and they're crunchy. I just wish I had more flavor.
I know that they only have two flavors. They have salt and they have salt and pepper.
Yeah.
That's my big criticism as well.
Yes.
Yes.
But they are just really good.
They're very good.
Mm-hmm.
Alana, what self-love exercises, if any, do you plan on doing within the next couple of days?
That is a really good question. I think that the top thing on my list is just to take care of my sleep and my energy. I just feel like I haven't been sleeping as soundly as I'd like. Trying to sleep at early hours and waking up at early hours. Thinking about what I want to. Well, I'm thinking, and I've got packing on the brain too because I'm going to be leaving out of town next week too. So that's the thing on my list. I don't know if that really answers your question, but that is important to me.
I hear you.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
What?
No, you go ahead.
So that's what I was thinking off the top of my head. What about you?
For me, self-love is just taking it a little bit easy, staying calm because I'm in a different environment than I'm used to, remembering to meditate and remembering to, try not to get too worked up over things. Mm-hmm. And living in the moment, enjoying the next week that's ahead of me.
Right. And just enjoying the holidays.
And company.
Right.
We might have an Unsolved Mysteries marathon on Christmas.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
We'll call it an Unsolved Christmas.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Unsolved Christmas with the line.
I think if we're going to do Unsolved Mysteries, I think it should be for a short time. I don't think we should have it. We should have it on all day.
I was thinking we start 8 p.m. Christmas evening and we go till 8 p.m. Christmas Day. So we do like a 24 hours of Unsolved Mysteries.
And
have a real Unsolved Christmas this year.
No. That's so depressing.
Okay.
I mean, I can only handle it for maybe 2 hours.
I hear you.
3 hours, but not like 8 hours. Not 24 hours.
Maybe we'll do The Simpsons instead.
Or Frasier.
Because
we're watching Frasier.
Yes, instead of Unsolved Mysteries for Christmas.
Right.
Yes.
If you have any whereabouts of
If you know where Alana Jaylo is celebrating Christmas, call our toll-free telephone number.
I just thought it was really funny when you said Robert Stack was in that movie, right? He's
Oh,
an
Beavis and
FBI
Butthead.
Yeah, he's an FBI agent, right?
Yeah, and he's into giving body cavity searches. Give this person another body cavity search.
Wow. I just
So-
finished the water, sorry.
No, that's right. That's such a fun movie. Beavis and Butthead Do America. In fact, you want to know some trivia?
Yeah.
That movie came out. Do you know what day that movie was released?
No.
December 20th.
Yeah.
Today's December 20th.
Yes, it is.
1996, 24 years ago
Wow. Unbelievable.
today. Yes.
I was a mere 16-year-old.
I was younger than that. I was 6.
No, you weren't.
I was
You were 13.
many, okay.
No, you were 13.
I was many.
You're not that much.
Many.
You weren't that younger. You're that much younger.
Maybe I wasn't.
No, you were 13.
Yes.
Almost 14.
It was fun though. It was a great movie.
An insufferable adolescent.
Oh my goodness. It was a really fun movie.
An incorrigible adolescent.
I feel like I need to give you a body cavity search.
Ah! No.
I won't stop until I reach the back of your teeth.
How humiliating that would be.
That's one of
Ouch.
the lines in the movies. It's like,
I won't
don't, he's like, don't stop until you reach the back of their teeth.
Wow. I wonder if he had fun playing that character.
I would hope so.
He just seemed like the old Unsolved Mysteries guy.
I just think of him as a scary dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he look scary?
He didn't look scary. He looked like an average older
just
guy
sounded-
with his hair dyed, though.
He just sounded scary.
He did.
Mhm.
Yes.
If you know the whereabouts of this person.
Call 1-800-866. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not going to say the rest of the number because it belongs to somebody else now, I'm sure.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. So we could watch some Pluto TV, I suppose.
Pluto.
Pluto.
We'll have fun.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what we're gonna make.
Yeah. But I get to spend the holidays, which is also my birthday.
Yes,
with
it is.
my Jaylo.
So I just want to say very, very quickly,
Go ahead.
Happy birthday and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. I'm going to be birthday boy.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to be birthday boy.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we'll do
It's
some...
gonna go on all week.
I'm gonna be birthday boy. Gonna be with you. I'm gonna be birthday boy.
Oh my.
Birthday boy. And we might do some recording then. Who knows?
Who knows?
You might hear a recording from the birthday boy.
No.
I'm gonna be birthday boy.
No.
Birthday boy. Birthday boy.
No, I'm not gonna bring my book. I'm gonna take a break from that.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can be a birthday boy.
Stop it.
Okay.
Okay, that's
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Oh, can I tell my title for a movie?
okay.
We were
go
talking
ahead,
about this
go-
earlier.
Okay. Go.
I was kissing Alana and I started laughing. Because
Thanks a lot.
No, not
I
because
appreciate that.
not because of you, babe. Last night I was, I'm in a film, in case you don't know, and
You're in a film?
I'm into film.
Oh, you're into.
I have been in a film. an
You've been in a
independent
film.
Independent short films.
Right.
But that's stories for another time. And last night I'm looking at film news and I see that they're discussing doing a new version of the Power Rangers, a film version. Apparently they've done other movies, but
And
they're
I
doing
think
it now.
why? Why are they doing that?
Right. I was never into Power Rangers as a kid, even though I was of the right age. But
I
anyways,
wasn't into it either.
on the phone this week, when I've been talking to Alana, I've been going, I'm going to be birthday boy.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sitting in bed and I think, well, a good title for the next Power Rangers film would be Power Rangers and a Birthday Boy. And it would be like the Power Rangers protecting this guy who keeps going, I'm birthday boy. And they just protect him and go on adventures with him and maybe get a golf cart and they're driving around and just going, I'm birthday boy.
Birthday boy.
And they fight all these evil villains.
Yes.
So that got me laughing when I thought about that
Wow.
tonight.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm very mature, babe.
Yeah.
Very mature. Yes. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No.
All
I
right.
think I've talked all I wanted to talk about. But I think we had a really good discussion.
It was fun.
It was.
Post it maybe tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I want you
Alright. And you might want to send me the link to the other one.
I thought I did.
Not the one that was like a few weeks ago.
Not the one on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Okay, I'll send you a link to that one.
Okie dokie.
All right. Alright, bye, Jaylo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Until next time.
Till
Bye-bye.
next time, okay. Nice.
Nice.
Ay, ay.